All right. Good evening, everybody, or good afternoon, or wherever you are, whatever time it is. That's what's really cool about this is we have people from all time zones here. I'm Angie Klotz, and I'm so pumped to be with you guys tonight. Tonight, it's hard for us as moving on up directors to know what you need. So if you guys ever come up with topics that you're like, geez, I wish they would train us on whatever, please let your director or one of us know, because sometimes we're like, I'm not sure what we should train on. And so when we were discussing it for tonight, I was like, I think I want to do Mother's Day, how to generate leads, how to book, how to do all the things that we can do. Now, not necessarily tons of selling ideas for Mother's Day, but I want to talk about how you can use Mother's Day in a big way to generate leads, because this is one of my things. I've been doing this now for, I want to say 14 years, where I get between 150 and 250 names on Mother's Day. And I want to teach you how to do that so that you can use Mother's Day as well to get yourself some new leads and some potential new business. So that's my intention with you today. Now, I know there's going to be lots of selling ideas that you can do for Mother's Day, right? Like I've seen the one page, I'm just blowing up with all these different like Mother's Day packages and things wrapped in our brown wrap from our boxes and all those sort of things. And so I'm not going to go into that. That's not my thing. But I'm going to definitely go into how to generate leads. So Mother's Day, what I do is I partner with a restaurant. Now, some of you probably already do this. And so if you do, that's great. This will be review. And if you don't, this might be all new. I'm going to go through what I do. And then if you have questions, please ask. Okay. So for the last 14 years, I've been partnering with different restaurants. I do several. For a while, we had 6 or 7 going, and we had different girls at different restaurants, different consultants. So if this is something you've never done before, then you're going to find a restaurant that you love. The one that we do the most right now is Montana's. We just have something really good going with them. They love us. We love them. We know their servers. They just accommodate. It's hardly any work now. I'm like, you want us? They're like, yeah, okay. How many you think? Let me check the rezos. And like that's how it got to be now. But if you're just starting this, you want to take a look at some of the restaurants out that you frequent, because they're probably more receptive if they know that you support them already, right? Then what you do is you go in and you ask to speak to the manager, and you just introduce yourself. So my script would be, hi, my name is Angie with Mary Kay, and I have an idea to make Mother's Day special, and was wondering if you would like to partner with me to do that for your customers. So I just say, my name's Angie. I have an idea to make Mother's Day special, and was wondering if you would like to partner with me to do that for your customers. And they're like, oh, what does that look like? I say, well, I'm willing.
Repeat that?
Sure. My name is blank. You can put your own name. Don't say mine. Yeah. My name's Angie with Mary Kay.
Mm-hmm.
And I have an idea to make Mother's Day special. I was wondering if you would like to partner with me to do that for your customers. So this is a partnership, okay? So, and then they're like, oh, what does that mean? And I just say, I'm willing to, and I'm going to read the whole thing so you guys can have an idea of what I'm doing so that it will make more sense. So I say, I'm willing to come to your restaurant with flowers and a draw basket. And I'll give each of the mothers a flower and the opportunity to enter our draw. And you can kind of say that however you want. So I'm willing to come to your restaurant with flowers and a basket. I will give each of the mothers a flower and the opportunity to enter the draw. And then they'll say, okay. And I'll say the basket will include things that most mothers love. like chocolate, a candle, some sort of pampering set. I'm going to use a pedicure set this year because they're fantastic. Pedicure set, and maybe a gift certificate from this restaurant. Hint, hint. Like, and I say it like that, and maybe a gift certificate from this restaurant. And they're like, oh, well, maybe. And that they can, so that for their return visit. Okay, so maybe a gift certificate from this restaurant for their return visit. And so I'm like, okay. And then I just tell them that there's no cost for you. I stay out of the way, out of the way of your servers. What do you think? Because you're not charging them anything. So most of the time they're like, oh. Now I tell them, you know, I've been doing this for years at Montana's, Rock Creek, Mr. Mike's, like, and it's gone over really well, you know, and so then they'll say there's no cost. No, there's no cost. I just ask that I have a place to set my flowers and that you could donate a gift certificate for the basket for your customer. And they're like, okay. And then we kind of go with the specifics. So for Mother's Day, you have the potential of 2 sittings because some people take their mothers out for brunch and some people take their mothers out for supper, right? So Mother's Day, I usually do 2 shifts. And I find out, you know, when is your rush for brunch? And so the one we're doing 11 till 1 at brunch this year. And then we're doing 4:30 to 7:30 for the evening. Okay, so, and then I check in a couple of days before just to see, you know, lots of times they'll get reservations and they'll be like, you know, there's a lot, maybe, because I kind of want to find an idea for flowers, right? So I'll say, how many people are you expecting? Like how many mothers, how many tables? And we kind of work that out. Now, what I do at Montana is we have 2 locations. One of them smaller than the other. So we do about half the flowers at one and then like, you know, double the flowers from one to the other, depending on size. So for Mother's Day this year, I got 500 flowers. I go to Costco to get my flowers, and the beautiful Kirsten Carmark on the screen right now is the girl that I deal with there because that's where she works. And I get bundles of carnations. We used to do roses, but roses by the end of their meal are like this. Unless you want to take the time and expense to tip them all with those little plastic tips, which I just, nah. So I just do carnations because carnations can, like, they can live through anything. And I go on the flowers are about 18 in a bundle. Kirsten, correct me if I'm wrong, for $11.99 is what we pay there. Oh, 20? You can unmute and tell me. 20? Oh.
20 for $14.99.
20 flowers for $14.99. Okay. And so then I, you know, unpacked, I actually get one of the bins from Costco, the big black bins that the flowers come in. I unpack them all, take all the elastics and everything off. I trim them a little bit because sometimes they're super long. And Mother's Day, usually they're with their families. And if they have little kids, they're winging flower stems in people's eyes and stuff. So I cut them down a little bit and it just freshens them a bit. And then I take my basket and I go. So the things that you would need, so your what to pack when you go to do your restaurant is you need flowers in some sort of water bin, like a bin with a little bit of water on the bottom. You need ballots. So I actually have some that say Happy Mother's Day. I have other ones that say Happy Valentine's Day because I use them year after year, and then I don't have to wonder where I got the ballot from because it says it right on the top. You need lots and lots and lots of pens, like lots more than you think. I usually take about 40 pens because the servers are always short of pens and they're trying to help you sometimes by picking things up or maybe just to steal your pen. Just kidding. I take a gift bag, like a small gift bag to put all the ballots in. And I take business cards in my pocket. Okay. So I show up dressed professionally and suitable for the establishment. Now, what I mean by that is it looks really weird when I come in a nice slinky black dress to Montana's. I don't there when I'm like that. I did that one year and I felt so awkward. I almost asked the girl for her plaid shirt to just put on and tie a little thing in the front because I felt really out of place as well. The clients or the customers at the restaurant think that you're like this big manager lady or something. They're asking you questions. So when I go to Montana's, I actually wear a black skirt. I wear flat black shoes and I wear my beauty coat and I fit in. I could probably wear jeans, but I don't go there. If I go to a restaurant that's maybe a little more high end, most of the time I would just wear a black dress, plain black dress. Our old director suit dress was perfect for that. Just a black dress. You don't want to be standing out because you're trying to be kind of stealth mode when you do this. Okay, so once I'm there, I get them to let me set the basket up somewhere near the front. And I have a thing that says Happy Mother's Day, enter to win. So I actually put take 2 gift bags, one little tiny one to go beside the one at the front. And then you're gonna have the other gift bag on your arm. Okay. So then what I do is the servers bring them in. I'm kind of standing off to the side. I'm staying out of the way because it's busy, right? You don't want to get in the way. I'm staying off the side. The customers get seated. I watch them get their drinks, and then when they're kind of waiting for meals, that's when I approach the table. And I just approach, I'm like, Happy Mother's Day on behalf of Montana's and Mary Kay. I've got a flower for the mom here. And like there's little kids, I'm like, are you the mom? And they'll be like, no, I'm not the mom. And then you hand it to the right person and just say, are you having a great day? And they're like, yeah, whatever. And I said, well, not only do I get the pleasure of giving you a flower on Mother's Day, but I have something extra special. We're doing a draw for all the moms that are here tonight. And in the draw, I don't know if you saw it at the front door, and they'll be like, oh no, I didn't see it. Okay, well, it's sitting at the front door, but it's got a candle and it's got some chocolate and it's got a pedicure set, Mary Kay, as well as a gift certificate for this restaurant. So I'm gonna leave a ballot here and a pen, and you can fill it out. I don't want to disturb you. I want you to enjoy your family today. So when you're done with filling out your ballot, just turn it over on the edge of your table and put your pen on top of it, and I'll come back and get it from you later. Okay. Now, if there's other adult women there that maybe aren't the mom or like older daughters, they'll look at you kind of weird. And I'll be like, you want to enter too, don't you? And they're like, kind of. I'm like, don't tell anyone. Your mom to me. And I'll just give them a ballot. And I'll say, I'm actually going to keep it separate. I'll do 2. And so sometimes I've been like separating, do mom ballots in one of my beauty coat pockets and guest ballots in the other ones, and do that. Okay. So then I go about, and they're so happy, guys. This is such a fun thing to do because they are so happy. You gave them a flower, they can win a draw, they're out with their family, and they've seen you and they know that you're not a weirdo because you look normal, you're dressed nice, you came and you were nice to them, and you go that. So as the night goes on, as table leaves, you do the same thing. You're going around, you're picking up the ballots, you're picking up the pens, you're handing out more flowers. You just kind of watch the place. Like I say, I kind of stay out of the way of the staff. I usually take little hand creams with my business card and a candy, and I take a bunch of them for the staff. I take about 20, and then I leave them, like I tell the manager or whatever, here's for your staff. They've been so good for me. And then I do that until I run out of flowers, and it works really well. So sometimes I've been spent 15 minutes at a table because people want to talk. They're like, sit down. Come. There's one couple of them. We're from out of town. Sit down. Do you want to have a drink with us? I'm like, well, I'm kind of on the job. Well, just sit down and visit. You get some really great connections happening. You learn who already has a consultant, so you can like small talk about that. Some just want the flower and they want to be with their family. But literally, I get, like, depending on the size of the restaurant, I usually get between 140 and 200 names from one session. So that's kind of exciting. Would anybody be excited to get that many leads? Yeah. Okay. So then after you're done for the night, so that's why I say wear flats. Especially now, guys, we're not used to wearing our heels and we just go die after 15 minutes. Wear comfortable shoes. And then grab the ballots. Sometimes I have like the mom basket, and sometimes I have that other one, and I do my draw. And I gonna be honest, if they're someone else's customer, I don't like, I repick, because I don't, on my ballot it says, do you have a Mary Kay consultant? I don't want to get into the confusing issue of, oh, I got this basket and she's got a consultant and all that sort of stuff. So I usually repick. I just don't want to step on any toes. I'm not trying to be mean or exclude. I do that. And so then when I phone the winner, I'll be like, hi, is Lois there? Yeah, this is Lois. Lois, you were at Mother's Day. You were at Montana's on Mother's Day, weren't you? And she's like, yeah. And you entered a draw for a basket, didn't you? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, well, happy news. You were the winner. No way. Woo-hoo. You know, all that sort of thing. And so she's all excited. And I'm, you know, it's so fun to phone people with good news. And I'll just say, well, not only did you win a basket, but you also get a free pampering session of your choice with me. And she's like, oh, yeah. I said, have you ever tried Mary Kay before? No, I've never tried Mary Kay. Wow, do I have a treat for you? You actually get to pick your session, because I have so many options. So we could either do skincare and microdermabrasion, or we could do a pedicure with our new pedicure set, or we could do a makeup lesson. What kind of suits you? And she'll say, I want to do a pedicure. I got, you know, spring's coming. I'll say, okay, let's get that set up then. And the even better news is you can have up to 3 people join you. She's like, what? Yeah, 3 other people can join you, no cost for them either. You were the winner. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, I bet you people are coming to mind right now, hey, that you know would love to have, you know, do this pedicure with you. And yeah, who are they? And she's like, oh, like my daughter and I'm like, oh, awesome. Okay, I can't wait to meet your people. All right. So then we book them. So you guys know how to do the booking. It's like, so are you more available during the day or in the evening? Let me see what I have open. I always say that. Let me see what I have open. This is my business. I work when I want to work. So let me see what I have open. Evenings or daytime or evening? Evening. Okay. I only do 1 night a week. So that's going to be, you know, and I'm honest, because one of the things I made a mistake of as a consultant for many, many, many years is I made myself available for them. And I worked all the things I didn't want to work. I don't want to work evenings anymore, guys. I don't. I love doing my Monday night meetings with my girls. I go from 6:30 to 7:30. And then other than that, I don't really wanna. So find that. So if you're like me and you don't want to work evenings, you say, okay, what days are you available during the day? And I'll see what I have open. So she said, well, I work Monday to Friday, so I could do Saturday. Oh, but I do have every other Friday off. Maybe I could do that. Oh, okay, when's your next Friday off? Right? Like, you want to book when you want. And I'll say, okay, let's book you in for that. And sometimes they'll say, oh, well, let me check with my friends and then I'll get back to you. And has anybody ever had that happen before? It's like, oh, let me check with my friends. Okay. Well, Lois, I'm going to tell you right now that I think we should pencil you in. And if it doesn't work for them, we'll try and change it, because I'm a pretty popular girl and you don't want to miss out on it. And then she's like, oh, okay. And so we get that set up. Now, for the people who didn't win, because there's only one basket, right? And when you get 150 names, it feels really unfair to me to say, we have one winner. So when it's somebody else, I'll say, okay, hi Esther. Is this Esther there? Yeah, this is Esther. Hi Esther, this is Angie from Mary Kay. How are you? I'm good. You were at Montana's on Mother's Day, weren't you? And she says, yeah. Well, it was really cool getting to see you there with your family. I have some good news for you. And she says, oh. And I said, yeah. We got so many entries for the basket that I couldn't in good conscience just make one draw. So I actually chose another few names, and though you're one of those names chosen. So you've got a pampering package and a free product coming your way. Really? I never win anything. Well, I'm so glad I got to be the one to let you win. Have you tried Mary Kay before? No, or yeah, I have actually. Oh, have you tried it recently? Like, are you currently using the product? Oh yeah. I buy from Lori Hankey. She's fantastic. Oh, good. What do you buy from Lori? What are you on? Are you on skincare? You know, she goes on all that. And she tells me all the things, and I'll say, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna actually give Lori a call, and I'm gonna tell her that I drew your name, because I'm pretty sure that she would honor what I've just done. And I want to make sure that you're loyal to your girl, because I want my customers to be loyal to me. How's that sound? And she's like, oh, okay. And then I would do that. I would phone Lori and I would say, Lori, I got your girl. She didn't put her name on the ballot, because if they've got another consultant's name on it says if you have a consultant, I don't usually call them. I eliminate those, just because I don't want to step on toes, right? Now, if I don't know her, if I didn't know Lori, I would go on Facebook and I would take a look and see what I could find. And most of the time I can track people down, but I just let them know I drew the name. But yeah, like I say, I don't call other people's customers. So yeah, I do the same thing. I say, other than saying, you know, I felt really bad with that many entries to only do one draw. So I did some more draws and you were one of those names chosen, and you won a pampering package and a free product. Now, what do I use for free product? Whatever. So what I did last time for Valentine's Day is I was overloaded on micellar water, and what was the other thing? I had two products that I was really overloaded on, and I kind of wanted to get rid of them. So I'm like, I wrapped them up cute, and like, you can either get the micellar water. I think it was actually eye makeup remover, because they were almost the same price. You can either have those, or you could take a half price item if neither of these appeal to you. So how much does it cost me to give away a half price item? $0. I make no profit, but I don't lose anything. Okay. Almost everybody chose the half price item. Can you believe it? I couldn't believe it. And it wasn't a set. Like, I didn't say, here, have Voluform for half price. They took a cleanser for half price. Okay. So that's what I do. Now, you guys can do anything. I mean, you might be someone who has some limited edition products and you have a cute little basket, and so they can choose an item out of your basket. You know, whatever might work for you, like depending on what you've got. I like to look at what's on my shelf, because I like to have my product rotated. I don't want things staying there too long. So if it's, or maybe it's even like, this doesn't, I mean, some of our items have dates that are coming close. I would put some of those in, you know, if it's a CC cream and it's out in 3 months or something, you can have those as an option, but whatever you want. A pampering package and a free product. And I don't only mention the half price item once they're at my house and we're doing the appointment. Okay. Any questions so far? Good.
Can you repeat what you say way back at the beginning?
Okay.
I'm willing to come to your restaurant with flowers in a basket. I'll give each of the women a flower. That's as far as I got.
And the opportunity to enter the draw.
Okay.
And then sometimes, like, you know, you gotta go, because some of the managers are like, okay, what's in the basket? And some will be just like, and I'll say, you know, the basket will include things women love. Most women love, like. Now, guys, when I say chocolate, I usually go get a nice high-end chocolate. I don't just go to Dollarama and get the oil-wrapped Eggies or anything like that. I go and get, like, we've got a really Hardin House chocolates here in Saskatoon is great, or Lindor. I like Lindt. Lindt and I get along really well. So something that looks nicer. For Valentine's Day, because I do this, I wait till after Valentine's Day, and a lot of the grocery stores will have little stuffed animals that are holding a heart and stuff. They'll have them on for like $1.94. I go and buy a lot of those, and I put that as the basket for the next year. You can even do that for Mother's Day if you've got a little stuffed toy or something like that looks nice. Just something to make it look big. I usually do it on a plate so that you can make the wrap really big and it looks grand. And then, you know, a candle or whatever. And then the reason I don't just do Mary Kay product, I used to just do Mary Kay product, and people would say, oh, I don't wear makeup. I don't want to enter the draw. I don't wear makeup. Right. And I'm like, well, it's not that. Right. Or, oh, I reacted to Mary Kay. You get all those objections I don't want to deal with. So I say, you get chocolate, you get a candle, you get a gift certificate to this restaurant, and you get a pedicure set. Like I kind of put Mary Kay last, because sometimes whatever people hear first, if they did have a bad experience, or if they, maybe they're consultant, or they have a consultant for a different brand, and that would shut them down, right? So that's why I have done that. I've learned to do that over the years. Is that all you needed there, Sarah? Did that work?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Also reminding the restaurant that there's no cost for your service is important, and that you'll stay out of the way of their servers is what I find that they feel good about that. Anybody else have a question? Lois.
Hi. Would it be easier to set up a table in the entrance?
It depends on the restaurant. Sometimes they give me a table right at the front. I like to keep the flowers tucked away somewhere, because if you're off helping the people giving out flowers and they walk in and there's flowers sitting right there, like, oh, look, here's flowers, and they take a bunch. I've had that happen. So I usually like to tuck the flowers away, and I tell, and so Montana now, we have, like, they just kind of got a little table right around the corner for me. It's kind of behind a pillar. I put them right there. It's out of the way so nobody really bugs it. And I can have all my supplies right there. And I kind of just stand there. They give me a chair, and if I want to sit, I can, but I just kind of stand there. And, but the basket's usually right at the front when they first come in, they see that. But yeah, you kind of want the flowers out of the way, because I've learned that the hard way as well. Now, this past Valentine's Day, the restaurant suggested that maybe we didn't come in. They would just, the servers would do it for us and hand out the ballots. That won't ever happen again, because normally I get between 150 and like 250 names. I got 14. After I took out the names of the one girl who entered 9 times. She just went for it, right? So I won't do that. If I can't be there to hand the flowers out, then I'm not doing, then I'll partner with someone else. Because I want that point of first contact with them. I want them to see me. I want to see them. There's certain people you remember, right? There's sometimes, depending on who it is, when I pick up the ballot, if you had a really good conversation, I make notes on the back of the ballot, you know, had 3 little kids, super nice, you know, things like that to remember them. So that when I do call them, it's like, hey, Selena, it was so good to see you. Your grandkids were so cute and so well behaved. It was so nice to see such a well-mannered family in the restaurant. You know, and they're like, oh my gosh, she remembers me, right? So I will make notes on that. There was something else I was going to say. Okay, so you book them.
I got another question.
Yes, Lois.
Your ballots that you say that you got one for Valentine's Day and one for Mother's Day. Do you have a sheet that you can share?
Yeah, I have a template. Who's your director,
The
Lois?
ballot? Nadia.
Okay, I'll give the moving on up directors, and Lori's on here too, and Esther. I'll send you guys the ballots that I have. It's just, and I just print them off and cut them out. Usually I do Valentine's Day ones on pink paper, and just so when you have all those ballots, it's easy to, you know, add them up as to where you got them from, because it's just easier to keep track that way. Okay. So I book them, and then for the second appointment, because when I booked them, I said, you get a choice. You can do pedicures, you can do skincare and micro, you can do a makeup lesson. It's really easy to book them for a second appointment, because when you were doing it, it's just like, didn't you enjoy yourself? Oh my gosh, yes, my face feels amazing. Now I didn't, and throughout the appointment, you can be like, I did mention that I do several different appointments, and you do actually get 2 complimentary pampering sessions. So if you would like to book a second appointment, we can do one of the other things that most interested you. And they're like, really? Yes. Right. So you've right from the very first time you've talked to them, you've let them know that there's other options for pampering. So getting that second appointment is much easier, because they've heard it right from the beginning, because they had to decide which one sounds best to you. Okay, what were they again? skincare and micro, foot spa, or a makeup lesson. They have to think about it, right? So they might remember that because there might have been like, I really want a makeup lesson. I really need that, right? So then booking the second appointment works better. Now, what I also know, ladies, is where you meet people and how you meet people is how they will do the business when they come in. So when you're booking these, because you're allowing them to bring up to 3 friends, now you can change that. I don't know. To me, the magic was when I started using up to 3, because they'll be like, oh, okay, well, oh. And then if they're like, what, I can't leave one out. We have this like group and there's 5 of us. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll just, yeah, whatever you need, right? So they think that you're doing them a favor by having a class of 5 over 3, right? So you're doing skincare parties for them. And then when you do work full circle, because you're going to rebook them and then you're going to share the opportunity, when they come in and it's the next Mother's Day and you say, I've got a shift open at a restaurant who wants it, she's game. She had a good experience with you at that. She realizes this is how you got her name. She wants to do it too. So then she is going to come in, work this, book classes, and you can see how you get well-rounded consultants coming out of this. All right. Now, the key is, ladies, learn from my mistakes. When you have one draw and you don't say, you know, I had so many entries, I just didn't think it was fair. So I decided to do a few others for another type of package. And yours was one name I chose. Because if you phone her and you phone the other mother that was at the table and they both get it, then they're like, right? Now, there are people I don't phone because I don't phone people that have other consultants. So it's not like everybody in the restaurant's getting called. Some people do that. I don't take the time to. I'll just go find me some more leads. I don't want to tap into that. But so because otherwise then it gets weird. One of my consultants said that, like, oh, she actually, her girl canceled on her because she's like, yeah, you said I was a winner, but my sister got called too. So she felt like it was shady. You can get around that by saying, I did several, you know, a few other draws and yours was one name chosen. Okay. I have really great success with this between Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, and the bridal shows I do. That's pretty much how I gain almost all of my new leads. Unlike some of the other moving on up directors, for some reason, I'm not very good at getting referrals at the appointment, but I'm working on it because I want to be better at that. So I'm working on it. But this really gets me what I need. And it gets easier every year. The first time I did it, I was almost throwing up before I went in because I'm like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. Like they're going to eat me alive. And what if I don't know what to say? And you know, all the things we do just to rev ourselves up and it's silly. Now I go in there and it's like, woohoo! Like it went really fast and it's fun and it's a way to generate those leads. All right. Any questions? Okay. Mother's Day is a huge opportunity for us to make mothers feel special, right? And so what else can we do, right? We can go get new leads from there, but take a look in your customer base. Take a look if you've got, I mean, almost everybody either has a daughter or a mother in your customer base. So what are you doing to help, you know, build your business through that, or to make people feel really important and special? Are you doing some sort of Mother's Day recognition? Are you doing, you know, what I want to do is a little shout out, you know, recognizing my mom, you know, on my customer page, you know, about a week before, and then, you know, Chad's mom, and then talk about my grandma. Like I want to do like a week of moms, you know, and have pictures of me and grandma and talk about that. Like I really feel like if we foster those really great relationships, or maybe if they aren't even, just getting that kind of heartfelt thing going, you know, before, and they're like, oh, look at how sweet this is. Yeah, I should think about getting her something from Angie, my mom something from Angie. They want to know more about you. So on your customer pages, do, you know, me and my mom, or me and my grandmom, or whatever it might be, and getting so that people can see a little more personal glimpse of you. There's some relationships out there where moms and daughters aren't so well, you know, there's some broken relationships, and that it can be a painful time for people. And if you bring it up and there's a pain, it brings pain for people. Sometimes it gets awkward. Has anybody ever had that happen? You're like, oh, what do you mean for Mother's Day? It's like, what do you do Mother's Day? And they're like, whoa, right? And I'm like, guys, there's nothing wrong with saying to someone, sounds like you have a difficult relationship happening. Yeah, every family goes through, and I'm just really sorry for the pain you're feeling. Been there, done that. Recognizing people in their pain is never a bad thing. It happens, guys. If it hasn't happened to you yet, it will. Right? Like we all, every family has a wee bit of crazy or dysfunction in it somewhere. Sometimes we're it, and sometimes it's around us. But just recognizing people for, and just, you know, I'm really sorry that you guys are having a hard time right now. Sarah?
I tend not to focus so much on mothers as women at Mother's Day, because there's a lot of women who would love to have children, love to be a mother, and for whatever reason cannot be. And also many women have lost their children, and so it's very painful. So
Right.
I find it easier to focus on women.
Yeah, one of the posts I put up is like, for all the mothers out there, the dog moms, the, you know, the stepmoms, the, like all of that, because you're right, there's a lot, there can be a lot of pain around this holiday, if you want to call it a holiday. But just if it gets a point where you kind of stumble because you bring something up and they're like, yeah, my mom just died a week ago, and you're like, oh doll, I am so sorry, this is a really rough one for you, hey? And she's gonna cry, and it's okay, and you might cry with her, and that's okay. I've just learned lately, you just gotta step into it, step into the pain with people. It's okay. You know, one of the things, especially when people lose people and then people don't want to talk about it, you don't want to make them upset, and they may never mention the person again. That's the worst thing. It makes it feel like the world forgot about them. And so, you know, I'm not afraid to text, you know, someone saying, this is going to be a rough one for you, hey, I'm thinking about you, and sending hug and love your way. Hugs and love your way. And because that feels good when you're hurting, is that people recognize that there's pain there, right? We don't want to just forget about it. That can be some of the most important things that you do for people, is recognizing them in their painful time. So I just wanted to bring that up as a side note, because again, in the past, as I've learned, I kind of stuck, and I was like deer in the headlights. I'm like, oh, and I think I actually said, oh, like, oh shit. Like, and then I couldn't think on my feet. So if it happens that something awkward comes up, you just meet them in their pain. And you don't, and another thing too is like, oh yeah, I lost, you don't one up them here, guys. You know, you might think, oh, I'm just trying to create that common bond or something in common with them. So I'm going to start talking about my mom, or, you know, painful relationship there. No, that is not the time, because they feel one-upped and that you didn't hear them. So it's just like, this must be tough. I'm so sorry for the pain you're feeling. Can I give you a hug? Yeah. Okay, good. And not one-upping, because that just doesn't work. So that is so far away from the topic that we started with, but that's why you gotta love Ange, right? That's all I have for you guys. Unless you have something for me, I'm just gonna check the chat here because I see there's something. Oh, thanks. Vanessa, look beautiful. Yay. All right, good to see you too, Lori. All right, go out there and crush it, guys. Make people feel important and loved. And just be you. It's going to be an awesome time for you to generate some business. And I'm so happy I get to be live with you again. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you the next time I'm on here. Take care, everyone.